Let me add it. Oh, people are probably seeing us. It's okay. Hey guys, I'm this whole new thing we're doing. It's gonna be awesome. Um, yeah, add that there. This is gonna be cool, guys. Just wait. Okay, let me test something. And then bam! I think we're here. I think we're here. Let's see. Let me look at the live stream. So yeah, everyone using new software. So far, so good. Is it showing up live? Yeah, it's showing up live. Excellent. Welcome everyone to the Gundam Explained show. Freedom. Freedom. I got it going, and it's 4th of July. Well, cool. Look at I'm trying to get it where the chat pops up. I didn't set it up right, but I know how to do it now. So next time, guys, next time. But
because we do want to shout out guys like JamCal X with the American flag here. Hello. Zionic Shadow, second for our no one is for because and
Jonatron, cool. And then Kyle, yeah, Kyle, we're using Hatter Low. Okay, let me see.
Stan.
All right, so I'm gonna turn up. Yeah, I'll turn up Steven a little more. You guys let me know. Yo, the sound is a bit off. So what is the off of the sound?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can get in real low.
You can only hear Adam from the left channel. Okay, I think I can fix that. Let's see. Does it say you're muted? Oh. Yeah, you know what? I think I can. Yeah, down mix to mono. I wonder if that already sounds better. You guys let me know. Oh, it does. Oh, cool. Okay, good. Excellent. Thanks all for the. Oh, but Steven's still quiet. I don't know if you have a chance to juice up, Steven. I can't raise it anymore, or unless I. No, yeah, I don't have it. I don't. But get started and then underwater. Yeah, see, that's not good.
What about just go right up?
Yeah, because anyway, yeah, the point is, guys, using a new software that makes it easier that I can just bam go live. OBS was like crashing for me every once in a while, and I was getting tired of it. But let's get started. I guess we'll kind of figure this out as we go. Because you sound perfectly fine to me, Steven, so it must just be the yeah. Okay, anyway, guys, welcome to the Gundam Explained show. I'm Adam Blue, Steven, and Midnight Hatter. If you missed it, his show yesterday, we had special guest Wayne. Howl at the Earth, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's funny. To get him on and do that, make a special segment. Because it was cool just because he's a musician, and so that's another like creative angle. You know, I love making music. Oh man, yeah, people are still saying, yeah, I wish I could figure that out. I got an idea. Okay, now try it. Okay, guys, let me know what you think. Brian Zanichelli, good to see you in the chat. I think I figured something out. And audio is going in and out. Oh my god. Oh, it could have been when I. Yeah, the new stuff. But anyway, are people saying they can't hear at all? Is that what's really going on? Let's see. I think it's whenever I open the settings. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's whenever I'm opening the settings, because I have this thing here where I can, oh yeah, hold on.
In the NVIDIA software.
No, and I might. Oceanic Shadow. This software is good. It's all me. It's all me. But I think
User error.
No, guys, it's new software. It works really good, but it's just this is my first time using it for Gundam Explained. I've been doing it on Blue Gamer, but I actually did figure out how to raise your gain.
That's good.
And it actually even sounds better to me.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just get going, because if anything on my end, I've got the audio. So, and you guys just let us know as we go. But no, real quick, I wanted to talk about some Gundam related stuff I got. Oh, but you can hear him a bit more. Good. Then maybe I'll just for fun, and this will be the last thing I do. I'm gonna. I lost the filters, edit, some more, and then turn this down a little bit. Okay. So that was a lot at once. Okay. No, they do. But, Crunchyroll. Guys, Crunchyroll. So I have a subscription, and there was that whole thing where they like got bought or combined. It's like Sony and Funimation and all that. But they have some awesome sales. Like if you're a Crunchyroll member, and I was talking to some earlier, you can get the perfect grade Char Zaku 2 and regular Zaku 2 for about $120 from Crunchyroll with the membership. Like if you are subscribed to it, because you get discounts and free shipping.
Yeah.
And that's like a great price. If you have like a Disney Plus account, you go to like the Disney store or something. Because I know we had like the Disney credit card or something we used when we went to Disney or something. Yeah. But no, when I was on there the other day, I bought two things because they were really cheap. This was on sale for $9. Now, what's really cool about it is it's just a random manga, that many people talk about. E. coli do seal? Yeah, I don't know what it's saying, but I'll figure it out eventually. This is really neat though. This takes place in '85, right? And it even discusses in here how there's things that are leading up to Zeta. And it even let me see if I think I'm gonna do a little lore video on this, because it shows off a really cool GM that has no head. And there's a reason for it, and even the artist describes why he went that direction. Yeah, am I the only one who can't hear Hatter? Wow, is it really like not at all? It's that, because some people have said they can hear you a little bit. Yeah, that's weird, because this it came out like in 2001, 2002, and it's completely translated. Like even just informational. So, yeah. Yeah, because Gundam has kind of gone through that, where sometimes Gundam will go through that where sometimes they'll translate stuff or not translate stuff. It's like you never really know. Oh, hey, howdy boys, Chris in the chat. Good to see you guys. Yeah, if this seems a little weird, just think, hey, this is a holiday. Yeah, my audio goes out sometimes because of the when I'm opening the settings, because I'm constantly opening the settings. But anyway, next thing I bought, because it was $17, Twilight Axis Blu-ray. Yeah, 27 minutes. You know, so not too much to it, but it's pretty cool. It's got good animation. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about, and if anything, even if they can't hear us, at least we can have this conversation, Steven, because I saw the Flash movie, and it's like, what was weird, I guess, was I didn't bother watching it just because the whole superhero thing, and like Warner Brothers with DC was just kind of like, it didn't seem like they really had confidence in any of their stuff,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so when they were talking about the Flash movie, and it's like I don't really care about the Flash anyway, and so just them bringing up doing a Flash movie, it was just kind of like, eh. But then you hear all the things like Batman being in it and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, and watching. Oh, so I wonder if it had like a completely different, like maybe it didn't have all this Batman stuff in it originally. Because that's what it seems like. Like there's parts of the movie that seem like it's really good, and then there's parts where I'm like, for instance, like the baby scene. Like I feel like it didn't need that at all, but I get what it was trying to do. Exactly, because they kept doing that. It would have like scenes where characters would meet and then make little jokes, and it's like that is funny, but do we really need that right here? And so, really, just seeing Ben Affleck do all the Batman action, I was not expecting that, like to that degree, where it was like a little mini episode. Um, I feel really bad about the audio, to be honest. I do. Um, yeah, and I don't think it's you. I think it's me, even though I've got everything. It's the 4th of July, guys. I didn't even know if I was going to stream anyway. No, guys, it's not a compression problem. It is literally new software that I haven't. So there's probably a button or something that I got wrong. I mean, really, that's all it probably is.
I'm literally just muted now. Yeah, because everyone's kind of saying that I'm coming in a little faint, but like, you know.
Yeah, that's what's weird. No, but then the other thing, I liked about it though, and then the Michael Keaton Batman. I was not expecting that much action. Like how even the idea where he was like he was done because I guess there were other superheroes, so he didn't need to do anything. Like,
is he in his 60s now?
yeah, he has to be, even maybe late 60s. I mean 89 Batman?
Yeah, so
Jeanette,
putting in some work.
yeah. So, but it was interesting because he had like the beard thing going on. Like that was a cool idea, but I almost feel like they made it too goofy. And I think that's the general problem, but I think it's because they're trying to do like what the Marvel or Guardians of the Galaxy thing, is, where it's like goofy, where it makes the drama not seem as serious,
Yeah, it really downplays the stakes of what's going on in the universe when you have everybody kind of being snarky and saying like,
the stakes.
how ridiculous is this that we are in this wild situation?
Well, Yeah, and then yeah, speaking of wild situations, there's times where they are using so much CGI where it's cool that they're CGIing this, but it looks so fake. Did this really pass? Like, it's like, did they really? Or I wonder at what point were they making this like, they're like, you know what? Let's just go all out.
I think at one point, even the creators of the movie went on to say that the CGI was intentionally bad because they were trying to create a visual effect.
Oh.
And I don't know how true that is. I think that
Yeah.
that's just an excuse.
Yeah, I think it is also. But anyway, so yeah, the Batman Michael Keaton action was awesome also. And again, it seemed like there was multiple like plots they were trying to combine, like everything with like the Flash's story was interesting, but it was a serious story, but then that humor throughout then made it where I would kind of forget that that's what's going on because he kind of got derailed to like, oh, I got to save this world,
And the truth is, they probably could have gotten away without having any of the Supergirl or Batman stuff in it at all. Even
Yeah.
if you took out any of that stuff. If you took out all of that stuff and you just made it about the Flash and he's trying to change the past, then you have an excellent story.
Yeah, because I love that really the main bad guy at the end was really just himself.
Whoa, spoilers.
Which I think was an awesome idea. Like, and it's funny because as I was trying to figure out who's this monster in the time thing, I was like, that would be neat. Because I saw the things protruding out. I was like, oh, that'd be neat if the Flash went through so many times and over time, and then they actually did that, which that doesn't happen a lot in movies,
No, and you know what's fascinating about that is, and I'm gonna, I guess, go back on what I just said. Is I think that part of the reason that it worked was that you saw this mysterious entity that nails the Flash and knocks him out of the time loop, right? And you don't hear anything about it for like hours of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's because there's so many other plot threads going on that you forget about. And then it comes back and you're like, oh, that's what that was.
And that's a neat callback. That's a good storytelling technique that seems to be up against what is a weird movie. That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting that like there's all this, random, crazy, weird storytelling, but amongst it are little nuggets of like, that's well done. So the other thing that I really liked too was Supergirl, because they go to get someone that had been captured and it's like, who is this person? And, obviously it's Supergirl, but it's just more of like, what's that story behind that? And then, getting into the sun, getting the powers. And then I liked how like, I guess opposed to the rest of the movie or like Flash or whatever, she had this like anger to her that was at the level of the stakes that were occurring. You know what I mean? Like she had like this aggression that made sense, whereas the other characters were a little goofy about it.
Definitely. I think that she represented a lot of, the sort of negative emotions of, if you imagine Man of Steel, like the Superman movie, if Superman had been captured and tortured for a decade, how would he have felt, right? And so she had all this bottled up rage and emotion, and it's such an inverse of what we expect from a super character.
Yeah, in fact, then it made it compelling to me amongst all the story threads that they're trying to throw out there. Like I was like, okay, what's this thing with her and Zod and like how it sounded like something like they captured the real like Superman as like the baby or whatever. Like he never got to become Superman. Like it's like, oh, whoa, that's intriguing. Is that its own story? Like, and anyway, at the end of the day, I'm shocked about this movie and I can't say that I like it or dislike it, except I must like it because I'm talking about it. It's weird. This is the same thing that's going on with the Acolyte.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Because like the last episode of the Acolyte, I thought, okay, yeah, there's logic stuff here that doesn't make sense, but this is intriguing. Like, what are they like? Oh, that was neat, even though to get there didn't make sense, so Yeah.
And I wonder if Acolyte would work better as a 2-hour movie instead of
Yeah.
a mini-series where you have to. We talk about this a lot when we're watching Gundam or when we're watching any TV show, where it's like having the breathing room between episodes gives you time to like digest what you just watched. And so with something like The Acolyte, when you just watched an episode and you're going over in your head, well, that didn't make sense. Well, that didn't make sense. It kind of takes you out of that mystery. Whereas, The Acolyte in and of itself is a murder mystery, right? So like you want to get to who's the,
Yeah.
did you ever see that movie Throw Mama from the Train?
No, but I think you brought that up to me before. Yeah. Yeah. I need to write that down. Where's my pen? Yeah, I need to write that.
So Throw Mama from the Train, Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito writes a murder mystery, and Billy Crystal ridicules him for it because he's like, you wrote a murder mystery with 2 characters, and one of the characters is dead on page 2. Like,
and so that's why I think like if they're doing these things that are very obvious, it makes me think that then the plan is that it's going to be a rug pull at the end. But there's
how good of a rug pull can it be when the answer's that obvious, right? It's like it's too much.
Yeah. So so that's the thing. Like then are they going to jump into like a Legends reveal to get everyone super hyped? Yeah. Okay, something else I wanted to talk about real quick because every once in a while I bring up how like I don't think Char's counterattack is really that great. Right, you've heard me bring that up. You have. Okay. And yeah, I know.
We disagree about it.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So I watched Akira, or however it is, for like I guess the first time to really watch it since I think I saw it when I was younger, didn't really care, And I would say it's really good, but like it could be a background animation or anime that you just have on because sometimes I even think it meanders with plot. And well, okay, let me keep going. But it came out same year, but after Char's counterattack, and the animation is night and day. Like I'm like, okay, so they did this to Gundam when Akira exists? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm often blown away by the fact that Akira was an 88 and Char's counterattack was an 88. And there's some anime like, even if you look at Cowboy Bebop was like 98.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I think what was the Gundam that came out at the time in 98?
Oh, was it X or?
Yeah, it would have been X. X came out in like 96, I think.
Okay. So, yeah. Or Turn A was 99, so it was like right, I guess, in that time frame. Yeah, it is interesting because I guess I just assumed Gundam would have always got like the biggest budget for stuff, like the animation. I thought it would lead the charge on, how like Star Wars led the charge on special effects? But Gundam didn't, I guess, for animation, but maybe more of story.
Well, I always go back to that NHK documentary where they've got... Is everything okay?
Well, all of a sudden, your audio got really, which could be a good thing.
I'm not going to complain if my audio is really good right now. But I always go back to that NHK documentary where Yasuhiko Yoshikazu is talking about the color charts that they used on the original Gundam. And I want to say it was Battleship Yamato. They had like 260 colors that they could use for that anime. But in Gundam, they only had 79 colors.
What a coincidence. 79.
79.
That's interesting.
Different. So he was complaining that like, oh, well, Gundam, like they shafted us. Like, we're using 200 colors for this anime that's not even one of our studios, but then something that we're producing in-house, we're using less than 100 colors. He was like, give me 30 more colors to work with, please. So,
well, that's interesting. How does that work then? Is it just because it would take more time to implement more colors or detail?
I guess so. It's like I think of it. I compare it to like screen printing, right? Like, have you ever tried to price out something for screen printing, and they tell you like, oh, it's a maximum 4 colors.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of that similar concept. I never really thought about. Yeah, maybe the cost of materials.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So they
very
have to hand
interesting.
paint themselves.
Yeah.
So, like they're using paints.
So yeah, the cost of the different paints. So very interesting how even though I compare a lot of Star Wars and Gundam similar as revolutionizing their medium, it seems like they did it in different ways. Even though Star Wars had the storytelling aspect, there's probably more the special effects. Gundam probably strictly delivering that type of story.
And George Lucas was always very pro digital editing, right? He always wanted to do something that was actually less expensive.
He was
Like,
trying to figure out what are the tricks to get this
right.
to look good and not have to spend a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, let's fix it in the editing room. Instead of trying to spend like hundreds of millions of dollars to get the shot right the first time, let's just get the shot done and then we'll fix it in the editing room. Like, that's fine.
Dude, that reminds me of, yeah, when I was a kid and I couldn't afford the real Millennium Falcon, so I built one out of cardboard. And you know what? It was good. I had a removable back, chairs in the cockpit.
Better than the they made.
It was more to scale, yeah. No, that stuff's cool. But it's so crazy though. Speaking of that, real quick, like when I go shopping or something and I see, the new Star Wars action fleets, they're making more. They're so good. You can go buy like a pack. It's an AT-AT that's gigantic and it comes with snow speeders. And it's like, man, I would normally buy this, but not right now.
The Action Fleet's such a great line.
I know. That's why Gundam needs an equivalent. I know we always bring that up, but they need something where, yeah, maybe the mobile suit's not as detailed and maybe it's not perfectly to scale, but make something where we can have the pilots go in and out and, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so I really wanted to bring up Akira or Akira. There's probably the more correct way to pronounce it, but
Kyle's gonna correct you, don't worry.
yeah, no, he's good at that. He knows the stuff. But which again, shout out. I can't even name the new videos that come out, but there's always new lore. He's got going on.
Yeah. He's going through Zeta Define right now, which I have mixed feelings about. Like, I love Zeta and I love the manga. There's some things that
Yeah,
Zeta Define does well, and you and I've talked about it before,
yeah,
so.
yeah. I know. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, to dive into. But yeah. So Another thing about Akira is I noticed they kind of had the same sort of new type story going on in it. I mean, even near the end, how the guy was saying, this is the next step for humanity and all this stuff, but they're like trying to weaponize, these people. And it's like the same thing as Gundam. So it's like the stories are similar, really. It's just what's interesting about Akira too is I don't know if do you think Akira would exist if Blade Runner was never made?
That's a good question.
Because I feel like when I watch something like Akira, another Japanese anime of that time, it's just evoking that Blade Runner style. And to me, I feel like the Blade Runner was the first time I saw that style. What do you think?
I think that, yeah, they both have that cyberpunk aspect, but I think that Ghost in the Shell is more influenced by Blade Runner than Akira is.
And
Akira is more body horror.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, and with Ghost in the Shell, it's also influenced by the RoboCop cartoon because there's a scene of RoboCop like pulling off the thing. Yeah, just like Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, that's funny. Aeon Flux. Oh, Ian just brought up Aeon Flux. Do you remember?
Aeon Flux.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay.
That had some wild stuff, like the little the tooth that had.
Yeah, there was something. So yeah, that was cool because it would be that type of animation, which then reminds me of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because they do that sometimes where there's just weird animation for certain things. Let's see.
Surprisingly, you know what also does that is Bluey of all things.
Oh, really? Because I haven't.
Sort of Bluey, like some showing myself as a dad right now. No, so there are episodes of Bluey where they do that really extreme close up, and there's like this extreme detail on like a leaf or something, or like on the snout of a dog or something like that.
Oh, I see.
It kind of reminds me of like Ren and Stimpy when they do that
Oh,
stuff, where
yeah.
they zoom in really close.
And it's like more of like a matte painting instead of like, yeah, I like that stuff. That's pretty neat. But you know what? Bluey just happened to be right after like my kids.
Your kids are out of it.
Yeah, and so I never really got to experience it. So I'm gonna do a screen share. Who knows what else that's gonna break? But
Might make my audio better.
I know. I mean, so far it was weird because like while we were talking, yeah, like all of a sudden. But hey, with this, I'm paying for. I'm supposed to have some support. I'll reach out to them, figure that out. But anyway,
There you go.
I just wanted to share this because this is cool. So there's gonna be this. I love the robot spirits, the Kasai or She Gundam, depending on how it's supposed to be pronounced. I want to make sure I'm using all of the possible pronunciations, so I'm being inclusive. But I actually have the 2015 version of this.
Is that the one you traded in?
No, that was the Penelope.
Oh,
Where
okay.
where like I saw the newer Penelope for like really cheap, so I bought it and then sold the old one. What's really neat about this is I was like, oh, they're making, releasing a new one to make it more accurate to the Hathaway anime. But from reading this, it sounds like, oh no, but yeah, it says this particular version is from the recent and thoroughly amazing movie adaptation. However, it's actually far closer to the novel version. Okay, that's what I was reading. Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah. So obviously this is something I would get for sure because I love these and I have the other one, so I might just sell that. I want to do a comparison because I love comparing these. And what's interesting too is you can kind of see it in the shot. It has like the real type markings because the earlier releases of the Penelope and Kasai, first they had it where it had stickers you could put on. Or no, I think first there was no stickers, then there's stickers you can put on. But I like, if it's an action figure, I like it where they're already applied.
Right.
Because that's
like decals that are.
And the cost signatures like that. Where sometimes, but Ian, if you're still in the chat, did the Sentinel or the S Gundam have decals and were they on or did you have to put them on? I'm curious about that. That was a newer Robot Spirits release.
The S Gundam is an interesting one because it has that split shoulder plate, right? And so it's like the Gundam system logo that goes on the shoulder is like slightly divided.
Yeah, that reminded me of when I built the perfect grade of the RX-78-2 and I had like 2 puzzle piece sticker halves I had to like fit. That was the hardest part of that. Okay. Yeah, that was that. There's nothing there. There was something else. Oh, okay. So there's going to be a Gundam Requiem for Vengeance booth at Comic-Con. You can expect massive statues. Cool. Shopping exclusives. Stay tuned for more details. So there's not much details on that, but I'm wondering if they would have any exclusive merch because I know that there's the high grades and the Gundam Universe figures coming out, but that's not until like August, September. So either they have some early stuff that's exclusive or it's something else entirely, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I typically don't get too excited for the merch at New York Comic Con or like Anime NYC. So is it New York Comic Con or Anime NYC that it's going to be at?
San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, this is San Diego. Oh, well, I've never been out to San Diego, but I know that like in the past when I've gone to NYCC, it's the exclusive merch that you get isn't particularly. It's like t-shirts.
Sometimes it depends. Like I know, like for instance, when I was collecting Star Wars figures, they would have exclusive there I'd need, but eventually I could get them. And I think at San Diego Comic-Con, they're gonna have Jada toys that make the Street Fighter toys I love. They have an exclusive Fei Long and Chun-Li, but they also said the same day it'll be up on our website to pre-order, which I love that because I hate to miss out on something. I want to even say, and I think you got one too, didn't Zionic Shadow hook us up from the anime NYC with some exclusives, I think. Yeah, so it's always cool. But there's that other end of it too where like maybe you miss out. you know.
Right. There's
Yeah.
always some FOMO aspect, but like, I don't know. I think that they've been dialing down the FOMO on the kind of exclusives. I remember, like, I'm always going to go back to this example of when I was playing Hero Clicks, right? When I would go and play in tournaments, they had tournament exclusive clicks that it was like, if you didn't play in the tournament, you didn't get it. You didn't get
Wow.
it. And then, they'd go on eBay for like $100, $200, whatever. But like nowadays, it seems like the exclusives, like you said, they're available at the show, and maybe they're at a special discount price. But then they always make them available outside of the show too.
Or they'll be on eBay, and for not that much more.
You're right. Like there's no. It's not even like you can't even accuse them of scalping at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, because hey, they did the heavy lifting. They went and got it.
Like I didn't have to pay for the ticket to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Like
Yeah, that's a good point.
even if it's only $30 more than what it would have cost at the show, like
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I agree with that for sure.
yeah, the swag is not what it used to be.
Yeah, I think it really depends, but yeah, you're right. In general, it's not what it used to be, and but I don't know. Yeah, because I can't think of anything else that they've announced. Yeah, especially like for the Gundam thing. It's not like they're announcing any special robot spirits or Gundam universe or anything. But
no merchandise associated with Silver Phantom yet.
oh yeah, I can't wait for that. I was just actually talking about it earlier because guess what? We just paid off our espresso machine. Like we had to put it on credit, and now we're getting a arcade cabinet. But it's really not that expensive. It's on sale at Best Buy. It's the one it has 12 Capcom games, Street Fighter, Puzzle Fighter, Giga Wing, Armored Warriors. Yeah, so a lot of
Those are some classics.
I know. Yeah, so it was pretty cool, and yeah, that's gonna be fun to have.
Kyle's asking, is it the one-up cabinet?
Yeah, the arcade one up. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's
Those you assembled them yourself.
yeah, you do have to build them. Yeah, which if I'm gonna build something, if I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna want to build an arcade cabinet.
Like, you put Gunpla.
Yeah, we put gunplay, and that's another thing. As I'm building it, though, I'm gonna want to like see, because eventually I'm gonna want to just put my own stuff in there, you know. So by building it, I can kind of get an understanding of how that works. But there was a point I was getting to with this, and I got so excited about the arcade cabinet, I kind of forgot. But yeah, I think that is it for that one. The other thing I wanted to bring up was, I did that video of that Blue Destiny Unit 3 Robot Spirits and like the high grade version. And, I think in general, the Robot Spirits looks better, but I think that's to me because when I think of like how the high grades look, they look more like a chunkier robot. You know what? Whereas, yeah, that Ver-Anime look, obviously more slimmed, version. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm thinking, and I have it right here. Like, I almost feel like this is one of the coolest looking just of a Gundam in general. Actually, let me change the camera. Just because it has the classic look, but it also has that ground Gundam that's kind of like universally liked. But it's also got the space stuff going on, the space flight backpack. So, like, for me, this just seems like just like an ultimate version of like a Gundam if you were to show someone like.
I've always liked the BB3 because, I have a thing about symmetry, right? And ground Gundam is asymmetrical in the chest design, but the BD3 corrects that. Yeah,
no, I just as I was doing the review, like part of me just wanted to more of like admire like this as a design, even though like the original Blue Destiny looks cool because it's like a blue, suit and blue mobile suit. Yeah. So yeah, check out that video if you guys haven't, because instead of like doing a proper Robot Spirits review, it's more of I'm comparing it to the high grade because I think they're both awesome, but they're both very different. And obviously the high grade looks the way it did because I added details and a top coat. So it wouldn't have looked like that out of the box,
That's true. Yeah. Model kits are what you put into them.
Yeah. And And unrelated, kind of related. This was on sale on Amazon. I had to pick it up. It's the Wolf Predator from AVP2.
Nice.
$18. So that was a good price. And it has like the dual shoulder guns.
Yeah.
I love that look. But this was reminding me of those Gundam the military generation. Yeah, there you go. Where, they're a little pricier and they have quality control issues. And then I was thinking, though, compared to this has, the articulation in places, but it's limited. Like, I can't move his arms all the way down or the arm comes off. You see? But it's $18. Now, while those Gundam ones have quality control issues, they have articulation that's not limited at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of helped me appreciate the price I pay when I'm buying those Gundam figures. But it also seems like, and I know you've kind of been dabbling in this recently, like when it comes to figure scales, like I love the 1/18 scale just because maybe because I grew up with that with G.I. Joe and then Star Wars. But I also like it for like scenes. I feel like I can fill out scenes more and it's less space. But also, those, 6-inch, 1/12 scale figures are cool too. Like, what do you prefer?
I definitely prefer the 1/18 scale. I mean, I think that goes to my appreciation of high grade Gundam, right? It's like that smaller scale.
Oh, okay.
With,
yeah, nice comparison there.
My brother's a 1/12 guy. Like,
I think it's easier to be a fan.
Yeah.
Because there is more in a way when it comes to that. And that's the thing with the Gundam figures that are that scale. Like, I think it's incredible and it's amazing they did that. So what's neat is, I forgot if I mentioned it here, Joy Toy, another really good company at that scale, 1/18, they have a 4-pack of the Ninja Turtles coming out. So it's 1/18 scale, fully articulated Ninja Turtles. They each come with a skateboard. Like, amazing. And a slice of pizza, I think. I feel like, and I don't know what it would take. Like, do you think it's possible that a reasonably priced 1/18 scale Gundam could be made?
Now, you're talking about like
the mobile suit at that scale.
That's that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because it would be like, bigger than my camera can show my hands. But I wonder if they just make it where it's more hollow, or it's not as...
Kind of like the 1/48 scale.
Oh, yeah. That is a good call on that.
And going back to what you were saying earlier about like the action fleet, it's like if you just made the 1/48 scale mobile suits, but you made them compatible with the 1/18 scale figures.
I feel like that needs to be the next step because, isn't Diaclone a big deal in Japan? And that's what kind of spawned Transformers. It's this line of robots and machinery that have those little articulated figures in it, Oh, and yeah, Ian's asking, have you seen their 1/18 scale mech line? So that's what's cool. Joy Toy does have this, and I've always debated buying them. It's usually between $80 and $100 and something dollars. It's a mech with a 1/18 scale figure that can go in. But a lot of times it's like, okay, this is a whole other IP. I don't want to do that too much.
IP would go fantastic in 1/18 scale.
What?
You already know.
Castlevania?
Well, yeah, but Exo Squad.
Oh yeah, because it's already almost there. They would just
mechs are right there. Like if you just bump them up to like about the size of a master grade.
Yeah. And then they could make it more accurate to the cartoon because by watching the show, the designs are a little different in terms of them going in their suits and stuff.
Yeah.
So great idea. I totally forgot. But I wonder...
It's not a Gundam Explained show unless we talk about
Exo Squad. But you know what? I wonder, though, if for Exo Squad, they'll just never be... Like, I feel like there's this certain point in time where if a certain generation has passed, something would just be forgotten.
Yeah.
And I've
lost media at this point.
Yeah, no one seems to care about Exo Squad. It's very interesting. Okay. You know what? So really what we're going to do is just end this stream because I don't really have too much more to talk about. And I want to ask everyone in the stream, did Steven's audio get better, but in terms of, oh, this is normal, or just more of, it got better? Because it was completely random as he was talking, all of a sudden, the sound just went loud, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, obviously there's a little delay, and who's really sitting at the keyboard right now to, it got better. Okay. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, so I'm gonna, have to figure that part out. But yeah, next time, guys, we'll be back to the chat showing up also. And yeah, little technical difficulties right now, but this is going to be better. And in fact, you know what I should have done, Steven? I could have just added you into Video Ninja because I still have the sources set up. But
It's all good.
it's thinking on the fly.
Honestly, I have to say, like, this interface looks better. So.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good. Yeah, and then Kyle, we've been working with Kyle, Simply New Type. If you guys haven't been there recently, we're trying to drum up something, and so we're looking at different software to use to see, like, what's the best way to do this. And I've been learning a lot because at the end of the day, it's like I want to be able to add more features to streaming, but make it like I have to worry about less. Like, I just want to get on, talk to everybody, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, just even though because I hate low production value, like I would consider today's show, but my goal is to have this back at being top tier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and we're getting there.
Oh, you know what? I don't know how to say their name, is saying actually Exo Squad is now owned by DreamWorks, the same guys that did Netflix Voltron.
Interesting.
Never saw the Netflix Voltron, but like I just hope by owning it, that means, hey, let's dip into this, Or they might be like, who's this Adam Blue Exo Squad? We own that. Yeah, okay, what's your pitch? I don't know. Anyway, guys.
Neo-Sapiens.
What's that?
The new Neo-Sapiens.
Oh, the new Neo-Sapiens, yeah. Which I love that name, by the way. Like, as a kid, I didn't appreciate it, but nowadays, like, oh, that was smart.
That was really cool.
Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Yeah, that'll be it. Everyone have a good 4th of July. Again, this is a holiday. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a good time, safe time, even a good weekend if you get to trickle that holiday into the weekend. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.